Prophet Muhammad (PBUH) is considered the last and final prophet in Islam, born in 570 CE in Mecca. Known for his honesty and integrity from a young age, he was chosen by God at the age of 40 to deliver the message of monotheism, justice, and compassion. Over 23 years, Muhammad faced persecution and hardship but ultimately united the Arabian Peninsula under Islam. His teachings, preserved in the Quran and Hadith, have shaped not only religion but also civilization, contributing to advancements in various fields. His life continues to inspire billions around the world, embodying the values of compassion, equality, and resilience.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Revolution Show. If you're new here, and we're about to dive into something super exciting today. Whether you're here to learn, laugh, or just pass the time, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on the fun. Let's jump right into it.
Certainly. Here's an in-depth, detailed history of Prophet Muhammad (PBUH), from his birth to his death and the lasting legacy he left on the world. Early life and family. Birth and childhood. Prophet Muhammad was born in 570 CE in the city of Mecca, located in the Arabian Peninsula. He was born into the Banu Hashim clan of the Quraysh tribe, which was one of the most respected tribes in Mecca. His father, Abdullah ibn Abd al-Muttalib, passed away before Muhammad was born, and his mother, Amina bint Wahb, died when he was just 6 years old. Consequently, he became an orphan at a very young age. After the death of his mother, he was cared for by his grandfather Abdul Muttalib, the head of the Banu Hashim clan. However, Abdul Muttalib passed away when Muhammad was 8, and he was then taken in by his uncle, Abu Talib, who raised him as his own son. Youth and early characteristics. As a child, Muhammad showed a remarkable level of intelligence, integrity, and honesty. He was known for his trustworthiness and reliable character, earning the nickname Al-Amin, the trustworthy. He was raised in a time when Mecca was a hub of trade, and the Kaaba, the sacred shrine in the center of Mecca, was the focal point of pilgrimage for various tribal groups in the Arabian Peninsula. Muhammad's early life was humble, and he spent much of his youth working as a shepherd and later as a merchant. This work exposed him to the customs, traditions, and issues of society. Marriage to Khadijah. At the age of 25, Muhammad worked for Khadijah bint Khuwaylid, a wealthy and respected businesswoman in Mecca. Khadijah, who was 15 years older than Muhammad, was impressed by his honesty and dedication. Muhammad had previously worked for Khadijah's trading business and managed a caravan that earned her considerable profit. Impressed by Muhammad's integrity, Khadijah proposed marriage to him. They married when Muhammad was 25, and Khadijah was 40. The marriage was a happy one, and they had several children, including Qasim, Abdullah, and Fatima, who would later become an important figure in Islam. Khadijah was the first person to accept Islam when Muhammad received his first revelation, and she became his closest confidant and supporter. The first revelation. At the age of 40, while meditating in the cave of Hira, Muhammad received his first revelation from Gabriel. The angel appeared to him with the command, read, or recite, the first verses of the Quran, Surah Al-Alaq 96, 1-5. Muhammad, frightened and confused, returned home to Khadijah, who comforted him and assured him that he was chosen to be a prophet. Over the next 23 years, Muhammad would continue to receive revelations from Allah through Jibril, which would be recorded as the Quran, the holy book of Islam. The message Muhammad received was one of monotheism, the worship of one God, Allah, justice, compassion, and moral conduct. Early years of preaching. Initially, Muhammad preached privately to his close family members and friends. His early followers included his wife Khadijah, his cousin Ali ibn Abi Talib, his friend Abu Bakr, and his freed slave Zayd ibn Haritha. As the message spread, the early Muslims faced hostility from the Quraysh leadership. The leaders saw Muhammad's teachings as a challenge to their political and economic power, particularly because they involved the rejection of the many idols worshipped in Mecca. The Quraysh began persecuting the Muslims, subjecting them to physical torture, social ostracism, and economic boycotts. Despite these difficulties, the early Muslim community remained steadfast in their faith. The migration to Abyssinia. As the persecution intensified in Mecca, a group of early Muslims, under the leadership of Uthman ibn Affan, migrated to the Christian kingdom of Abyssinia, modern-day Ethiopia. The Christian king, Negus, provided them refuge after hearing their accounts of the teachings of Muhammad and the persecution they faced in Mecca. This migration to Abyssinia was significant as it demonstrated the commitment of the early Muslims to their faith, even in the face of hardship. The Year of Sorrow. In 619 CE, two tragic events took place: the death of Khadijah and the death of Muhammad's uncle, Abu Talib. Khadijah had been Muhammad's primary supporter and confidant. Her death left Muhammad emotionally devastated. Abu Talib had also protected Muhammad from the Quraysh's persecution, and his death marked the loss of one of Muhammad's main sources of protection. This year became known as the Year of Sorrow, and it marked a turning point for Muhammad. He sought refuge in the nearby town of Taif, hoping to gain support, but was rejected and subjected to humiliation. The night journey, Isra and Mi'raj. In 621 CE, Muhammad experienced the miraculous Isra and Miraj, during which he was taken by night from the Kaaba in Mecca to the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem, Isra, and from there ascended through the heavens, Mi'raj. In the heavens, he met various prophets, including Adam, Moses, and Jesus, and received instructions from Allah regarding the number of daily prayers, salat. This event is a cornerstone of Islamic belief and signifies the Prophet's unique connection with Allah. The migration to Medina, Hijra. By 622 CE, the situation in Mecca became unbearable. A group of people from Yathrib, later named Medina, invited Muhammad to mediate between warring factions in their city. After receiving divine permission, Muhammad and his followers migrated to Medina in an event known as the Hijra. The migration to Medina marks the beginning of the Islamic calendar. In Medina, Muhammad not only served as a spiritual leader but also became a political and military leader. The first Islamic community was established, and a new social contract was created, known as the Constitution of Medina, which established rights and duties for the different religious and tribal groups in the city. The battles. Badr, Uhud, and the Trench. Battle of Badr, 624 CE, the Quraysh, enraged by the growing strength of the Muslim community in Medina, launched an attack on the Muslims. Despite being outnumbered, the Muslims achieved a miraculous victory at the Battle of Badr, which significantly boosted their status. Battle of Uhud, 625 CE. In retaliation, the Quraysh attacked Medina again, and the Muslims faced a setback at the Battle of Uhud. Despite initial success, the Muslims were defeated because some of the archers disobeyed Muhammad's orders to remain on the mountain pass, allowing the Quraysh cavalry to attack from behind. Battle of the Trench, 627 CE. The Quraysh laid siege to Medina, but the Muslims, under Muhammad's leadership, dug a trench around the city, which effectively thwarted the Quraysh's attempts to breach the city walls. The siege ended without a major battle. Treaty of Hudaybiyah and the conquest of Mecca. In 628 CE, the Treaty of Hudaybiyah was signed between the Muslims and the Quraysh. This treaty, although initially seen as unfavorable by many of Muhammad's followers, was later instrumental in spreading Islam. It allowed Muslims to perform pilgrimage in Mecca the following year and led to a period of peace, during which Islam spread rapidly. In 630 CE, the treaty was broken by the Quraysh, prompting Muhammad to march on Mecca with an army of 10,000 Muslims. The city surrendered without much resistance, and Muhammad cleared the Kaaba of idols, rededicating it to the worship of the one true God. The conquest of Mecca marked the victory of Islam over idolatry and laid the foundation for Islam to spread across the Arabian Peninsula. The farewell pilgrimage and final sermon. In 632 CE, Muhammad performed his only pilgrimage, Hajj, to Mecca, known as the farewell pilgrimage. During this pilgrimage, he delivered his famous farewell sermon, where he emphasized equality, justice, and the unity of the Muslim community. He declared that all Muslims are equal, regardless of race or ethnicity, and that the principles of justice, morality, and compassion should guide all interactions. Death of Prophet Muhammad. A few months after the farewell sermon, Muhammad fell ill. His health deteriorated, and he passed away in June 632 CE at the age of 63. He was buried in Al-Masjid al-Nabawi in Medina, where his grave remains a major site of pilgrimage for Muslims today. Legacy and impact. The Quran. The Quran, the holy book of Islam, remains unchanged since its revelation over 1,400 years ago. It is regarded as the literal word of God by Muslims and serves as a complete guide to life. Hadith and Sunnah. Muhammad's sayings, hadith, and actions, sunnah, provide guidance for Muslims in all aspects of life, including worship, ethics, and social conduct. Islamic civilization. Muhammad's teachings laid the foundation for the rapid spread of Islam across the Arabian Peninsula and beyond. Islamic civilization flourished, contributing to advancements in science, medicine, mathematics, architecture, and philosophy. The Muslim Ummah. Muhammad's teachings emphasize the unity of the Muslim community, Ummah, as a single, cohesive body, bound by faith, compassion, and justice. Muhammad's life continues to serve as an example for Muslims to emulate, and his impact on the world is immeasurable. He is considered the last and final prophet in Islam, and his legacy continues to shape the lives of over 1 billion Muslims around the world.